What if I told you that becoming rich has nothing to do with extreme budgeting, skipping lattes, or grinding 24/7? What if wealth wasn't about sacrifice, but about freedom? The story you're about to hear will shatter everything you thought you knew about money. You'll learn how to automate your finances, multiply your income, and design a life where money flows effortlessly, without guilt, stress, or spreadsheets. This isn't just a book. It's a blueprint for your rich life. And if you're ready to escape the paycheck-to-paycheck trap forever, keep listening. Liam wiped down the espresso machine for the 5th time that morning. The scent of freshly ground coffee filled the small shop, blending with the low hum of morning chatter. Customers filtered in and out, exchanging $5 bills for their carefully crafted cappuccinos and matcha lattes. He envied them. Every day, Liam handed out steaming cups of liquid gold, but he couldn't afford one himself without guilt gnawing at him. He had student loans the size of a mortgage and a checking account that barely scraped by after rent, utilities, and the occasional overpriced sandwich from the deli next door. "Hey man, got your rent this time?" His roommate Jake leaned against the counter, waiting for his usual black coffee. Liam forced a grin. Yeah, almost. Jake rolled his eyes. "Dude, you say that every month. How much are you short this time?" Liam exhaled, pressing his hands against the cool metal counter. 300. Bro. Jake shook his head. "You work 6 days a week. Where does your money even go?" Liam knew the answer, but saying it out loud made it worse. Minimum payments on 3 credit cards, ridiculous student loan interest, rent, groceries, and whatever was left disappeared into a black hole of random little purchases. A new phone case here, takeout on bad days, an Uber when he missed the last bus. It all added up. "Maybe I should just cut out everything," Liam muttered, more to himself than to Jake. "No eating out, no streaming services, no fun. Just grind until I get out of this mess." Jake scoffed. "Yeah, that'll last a week. Listen, cutting back is good and all, but you need to figure out how to make more money. You can only save so much before you hit zero, man." Liam sighed. "Yeah, well, easier said than done." Just then, a group of finance bros strolled into the cafe, their laughter cutting through the room. They looked like they had walked straight out of a Wall Street ad. Expensive suits, polished shoes, and an air of effortless confidence. Liam watched as they grabbed a corner table and started talking animatedly. "Crypto's bouncing back. Told you guys." "Man, if you're not in index funds, you're playing yourself." "My side hustle just crossed 10K last month. Feels good not relying on a paycheck." Liam clenched his jaw. That number, $10,000 in a month, was more than he made in 3. He delivered their drinks with a forced smile, but as he turned to leave, he lingered for just a second longer. "What's the best personal finance book, though?" one of them asked. "Ramit Sethi, hands down. I will teach you to be rich. Change the game for me." Liam made a mental note. Ramit Sethi. That night, after another exhausting shift, he sat on his worn-out couch and typed the name into Google. His screen filled with articles, videos, and book reviews. One headline stood out: "How I Automated My Finances and Built Wealth Without a Budget." Liam clicked, and just like that, everything started to change. Liam scrolled through the article, his tired eyes scanning the words with growing curiosity. "Most people think getting rich means cutting back on lattes. That's wrong. True wealth comes from focusing on the big wins, negotiating your salary, automating your finances, and earning more." He frowned. This went against everything he'd been taught. Wasn't saving every penny the only way to get ahead? Still skeptical, he dug deeper, clicking through interviews and book summaries. The more he read, the more it made sense. The people who were financially successful weren't obsessing over cutting back on coffee or skipping meals to save a few bucks. They were making strategic moves, investing early, building side businesses, and negotiating their worth. He hesitated, then checked his bank app. $132.78. Pathetic. Liam's heart sank. It was the 20th of the month. Rent was due in 10 days, and he was still short. His next paycheck would barely cover it, and then he'd be back in the same cycle. His eyes landed on one of Ramit's core principles. There's a limit to how much you can cut, but no limit to how much you can earn. That sentence clung to his mind like a challenge. Earn more. He leaned back on the couch, rubbing his temples. What could he do? His job at the cafe barely paid above minimum wage. The manager, Ben, was nice enough, but there was no room for promotions. He had no special skills, no connections, and no money to start some fancy investment. But then a thought struck him. He looked around his tiny apartment, eyes landing on his laptop. What if he started writing? Liam had always been a coffee nerd, spending hours geeking out over different beans, brewing methods, and the science behind a perfect espresso shot. Customers often asked him for recommendations, and he could talk for hours about the difference between an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe and a Colombian Supremo. Could he turn that into something? Excitement sparked in his chest. He pulled up Google and typed, "How to start a blog." The first few results overwhelmed him with technical jargon: hosting, SEO, monetization. His stomach tightened. Maybe this was too much. Then he saw another article. Start your blog in 30 minutes. That seemed doable. He followed the steps, setting up a free website, choosing a simple theme, and writing his first post. Why your morning coffee tastes bitter and how to fix it. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. By the time he finished, it was nearly 2 a.m. His eyes burned from staring at the screen, but for the first time in months, he felt something new. Hope. Tomorrow, he'd wake up, work his shift, and come home to write another post. And another. Because for the first time, cutting back wasn't the answer. Earning more was. Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying this story so far, consider hitting that subscribe button. Your support truly means the world to us. All right, let's continue. The next morning, Liam dragged himself out of bed, his mind still buzzing from the night before. His blog was live. Sure, no one had read it yet, but it existed. That was something. At the cafe, between steaming milk and pulling espresso shots, he jotted down post ideas on receipt paper. Best budget espresso machines. Why coffee tastes different in different countries. How to make cafe quality coffee at home. By the end of his shift, he had a list of 20 topics. That night, he wrote another post, then another. Each one got a little better, snappier, more engaging. He started researching how to get traffic. SEO, Pinterest, Reddit forums. There was so much to learn, but he wasn't overwhelmed. He was excited. By the end of the week, he had 5 blog posts up, but when he checked his site analytics, the number was the same. 0 visitors. Liam exhaled. Okay, no one knows I exist yet. That's normal. He thought about how people found things online. Google? Too slow? Social media? Maybe. Then he remembered a customer from the cafe, a food blogger who had mentioned getting tons of traffic from Pinterest. Liam opened an account and designed a simple pin for his Why Your Morning Coffee Tastes Bitter article. He added a catchy title, uploaded it, and logged off. Nothing happened. Days passed. He kept writing, kept posting, kept pinning. Still, his analytics stayed at 0. Then, on a Tuesday morning, something changed. Liam checked his email and saw a notification. Your site has received 27 visitors. His heart raced. He clicked into the analytics. One of his pins had been saved by a coffee enthusiast, then shared in a Facebook group. More people had clicked through. It was a tiny number, but it was proof. People cared about what he was writing. Encouraged, he doubled down. Every night after work, he researched more about Pinterest, tweaking his pins and experimenting with different headlines. He wrote better, more helpful content. 2 weeks later, his traffic hit 500 visitors. A month later, 3,000. Then, one evening, while scrolling through an article on how bloggers make money, he found something that stopped him cold. Affiliate marketing. The concept was simple. Recommend a product, and if someone buys it through your link, you get paid a commission. Liam immediately thought of all the coffee gear he'd talked customers into buying. Grinders, espresso machines, beans. He signed up for an affiliate program and added links to his posts. That night, he went to bed thinking, could this actually work? 2 days later, the answer came. An email from the affiliate site. Congratulations! You've earned your first commission, $8.74. It wasn't much, but it meant one thing. This could be real. Liam stared at the email. $8.74. It wasn't even enough for a full meal, but it felt like winning the lottery. This wasn't just money. This was proof of concept. Someone had clicked his link, read his words, trusted his recommendation, and bought something because of him. He refreshed his earnings page, half expecting the number to disappear like a glitch. But there it was. Real. At the cafe, Liam worked his shift with a new energy. The same customers came in, ordered the same drinks, but something had shifted. He had an exit plan. Jake noticed. All right, man, what's up with you? You look way too happy for someone making minimum wage. Liam hesitated, then grinned. Dude, I made $8 online yesterday. Jake snorted. What, like a scam? No, from my blog. Some guy bought a coffee grinder through my link. Jake raised an eyebrow. Wait, so you're telling me you can make money just by writing about coffee? Liam nodded. Apparently. Jake clapped a hand on his shoulder. Well, damn, maybe you should quit this place already. Liam laughed, but deep down, the idea took root. That night, he stayed up researching. The bloggers making real money weren't just throwing up random posts. They had strategies. He learned about SEO and started optimizing his articles. He read about email marketing and set up a newsletter. He added more affiliate links and even applied for Google AdSense, hoping to earn from ads. A week later, his earnings jumped to $42.19. Then $78.50. By the end of the month, he had made $243. It was still small, nowhere near enough to quit his job, but it covered groceries, a few bills, and most importantly, it was growing. But just as things were looking up, reality hit hard. Rent was due. Liam stared at the number on his screen, $1,200. His bank balance, $865. Not enough. Panic crept in. He had been so focused on building the blog, he hadn't picked up extra shifts like he usually did. The blog was growing, but not fast enough. He considered asking Jake for help, maybe even calling his parents, though the thought made his stomach turn. He had promised himself he wouldn't be that guy who needed bailing out. Then he remembered something from I Will Teach You to Be Rich. If you need money now, the fastest way isn't cutting back, it's earning more. Liam took a deep breath. He had to hustle. He grabbed his laptop, opened Craigslist, and searched. Freelance writing jobs. Within minutes, he found dozens of listings. Some were sketchy, others laughable, but one caught his eye. Looking for a coffee expert to write blog posts? Pays $50 per article. His pulse quickened. He clicked apply. Liam read over his application one last time before hitting send. Hi there, my name is Liam and I've been a coffee enthusiast for years. I currently run a blog dedicated to specialty coffee, covering everything from brewing techniques to equipment recommendations. I'd love to contribute to your site and help bring valuable content to your readers. I can provide engaging, well-researched articles with a personal touch. Let me know if you'd like a sample. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. He exhaled and shut his laptop. Now, he just had to wait. The next morning, his phone buzzed with a new email. Subject, writing opportunity. Hey Liam, we love your passion for coffee. We'd like to start with one article. 500 words on the best budget espresso machines. If it's good, we'll send more assignments. $50 per article. Let us know if you're interested." Liam's heart pounded. This was it. A real gig. He replied immediately, "I'd love to. I can have the article ready in 24 hours. That night, after an exhausting shift at the cafe, he sat down to write. He poured everything he knew into the piece. What to look for in an espresso machine, common mistakes beginners made, and personal recommendations. He edited, polished, and finally hit send. The response came the next day. "Great work, Liam. This is exactly what we needed. We'd love to assign you 4 more articles this month. Let us know if you're up for it." Liam nearly dropped his phone. 4 articles, $200. That was half his rent. He immediately accepted. For the next 2 weeks, he balanced work at the cafe with writing at night. Every spare minute was spent researching, outlining, or typing away. His blog continued growing, bringing in small but steady affiliate commissions. Then, the game changer happened. One morning, he checked his inbox and saw an email from a coffee brand. "Hey, Liam, we love your blog. Would you be open to a sponsored post? We'd pay $250 for a review of our new coffee subscription service." Liam stared at the number. $250 for one post. He responded with a cautious yes. 2 days later, the money was in his account. For the first time since starting this journey, Liam realized something. He had options. He wasn't stuck relying on a paycheck. He wasn't limited to a set hourly wage. He could create his own income. The weight on his chest lightened. Liam's routine had completely changed. Mornings were still spent at the cafe, but his evenings? They were his real investment. Every night he worked on his blog, pitched new freelance clients, and experimented with different ways to grow his audience. By the end of the month, things looked different. Freelance writing, $400. Affiliate commissions, $320. Sponsored post, $250. Total, $970. Not life-changing, yet, but it was real. It covered rent. It meant no more overdraft fees, no more scrambling at the end of the month. And for the first time, Liam realized something shocking. He was making more from his side hustle than his actual job. The cafe was predictable, 8 hours of work for a set paycheck. But his online income, it had no ceiling. The more he wrote, the more he earned. The better his content, the more people read. The smarter he worked, the more opportunities appeared. It was a game, and for the first time, he was playing to win. One afternoon, Jake plopped onto the couch beside him. "Dude, you've been glued to that laptop for weeks. What's going on?" Liam grinned. "I made almost $1,000 online this month." Jake's eyes widened. "Wait, what? From the blog?" "And freelance writing," Liam added. Jake whistled. "Damn. So, what's next? Quitting the cafe?" Liam hesitated. The thought had crossed his mind more than once. But something from "I will teach you to be rich" stuck with him. Never make drastic money moves without a plan. Automate first, save first, then take the leap. He wasn't there yet. "I'm going to wait," Liam said. "Stack my savings, build this up to where it's consistent." Jake nodded. "Smart, but dude, I gotta say, it's crazy seeing you go from broke to this in like 2 months. Liam chuckled. "Yeah, turns out cutting lattes wasn't the answer." Jake smirked. "So what is?" Liam leaned back, stretching his arms. "Earning more and making my money work for me." And for the first time in his life, he actually believed it. Liam's online income continued to grow, but more importantly, his mindset had changed. He was no longer thinking like a guy just trying to scrape by. He was thinking like someone building something bigger than himself. Each morning at the cafe, he watched customers tap their cards without a second thought. People who had financial freedom, who weren't panicking over rent. He used to resent them. Now, he was on his way to becoming one of them. By month 3, his numbers spoke for themselves. Freelance writing, $750. Affiliate commissions, $520. Sponsored posts, $400. Total, $1,670. More than his barista paycheck. The realization hit him mid-shift as he wiped down the espresso machine for what felt like the 1,000th time. I don't need to be here anymore. His hands trembled at the thought. He wasn't reckless. He had been saving aggressively, putting aside 3 months' worth of expenses just in case. But now, every hour spent steaming milk felt like a wasted opportunity. Every shift was time he could be using to grow his business. That night, he sat in front of his laptop, staring at a blank email draft. Subject, 2 weeks' notice. His heart pounded as he typed out the words. Hey Ben, I wanted to let you know I'll be leaving the cafe in 2 weeks. I appreciate everything, but I've started a new opportunity I want to focus on. Thanks for everything, Liam. He hovered over the send button. Then, taking a deep breath, he clicked it. Jake nearly choked on his drink when Liam told him, Dude, you actually quit? Liam grinned nervously. Yep. Damn, you better not go broke, man. Liam shrugged. If I can make this much in 3 months while working full-time, imagine what I can do with full focus. Jake exhaled. All right, respect. So, what's the plan now? Liam had thought about that. 1. Scale up freelancing more clients, higher rates. 2. Grow his blog traffic. More readers meant more affiliate commissions. 3. Launch his own product. A digital guide, the ultimate home barista playbook. No more depending on someone else to set his paycheck. He was in control now. For the first time in his life, Liam didn't wake up dreading the day ahead. Instead, he woke up excited. Because this time he wasn't just making money. He was building wealth. Liam woke up on Monday morning and did something he had never done before. He didn't go to work. No alarm, no rushing to the cafe, no apron waiting for him. Instead, he made himself a pour-over coffee, sat at his desk, and opened his laptop. This was his job now. The first week felt strange. Without the structure of a shift schedule, time seemed fluid. He could work whenever he wanted, but that also meant he had to stay disciplined. He set his own schedule. Mornings for client work, afternoons for his blog, evenings for learning. And he wasn't playing small anymore. Instead of hunting for $50 freelance gigs, he started pitching premium clients. Coffee brands, lifestyle magazines, and startup websites that needed expert content. He revamped his blog, added more in-depth guides, and optimized his affiliate links. He even started growing an email list, sending weekly newsletters with coffee tips and deals. By month 4, his earnings jumped. Freelance writing, $1,200. Affiliate commissions, $750. Sponsored posts, $500. Digital product sales, $400. Total, $2,850. More than double what he made at the cafe. And for the first time in his life, he had savings. But then, life threw its first curveball. His laptop, his entire business, died. One moment, he was editing an article. The next, the screen flickered, then went black. Panic surged through him. He tried rebooting, plugging, unplugging, nothing. The old Liam would have spiraled. He would have freaked out, scrambled for a way to fix it, maybe even called his parents for help. But this Liam? He took a breath, logged into his bank account from his phone. And for the first time, he had enough to handle it. No panic, no borrowing, no stress. Just a quick trip to the store, a swipe of his business credit card, and a brand new laptop. And just like that, he was back in business. That night, he sat at his desk, fingers resting on the keyboard of his new machine. He wasn't struggling anymore. He wasn't drowning in bills, waiting for the next paycheck. He was thriving. And this was just the beginning. Liam had read about it in I Will Teach You to Be Rich, but now he was experiencing it firsthand. When you set up the right systems, wealth builds on itself. Money starts working for you instead of the other way around. At first, making a few $100s online had felt impossible. Now, momentum was on his side. His blog traffic had doubled, thanks to a viral post on the best coffee beans for every brewing method that got picked up by a major food website. More readers meant more affiliate sales. More sales meant more confidence. And confidence led to bigger moves. Instead of just doing freelance writing, Liam started offering consulting. Brands wanted to know how he had grown his audience so fast. They were willing to pay for his expertise. His first client? A small coffee roaster in Texas. They wanted help with content marketing and social media strategy. Liam pitched them $1,000 for a month of consulting. They said yes. He stared at the email confirmation in disbelief. $1,000 for knowledge he had built just by following his passion. The old Liam would have hesitated, thinking he wasn't qualified. The new Liam? He owned it. He built them a strategy, wrote their content, optimized their SEO. By the end of the project, they were thrilled and referred him to another company. Word spread. By month 6, Liam's income had skyrocketed. Freelance consulting, $3,000. Affiliate commissions, $1,200. Sponsored posts, $700. Digital product sales, $600. Total, $5,500. More than triple what he had made as a barista. One day, Liam walked into the cafe, not as a worker, but as a customer. He ordered whatever he wanted without checking his bank balance first. The barista, his old co-worker, smirked. Big spender today? Liam just grinned, because this wasn't about the coffee. It was about what it represented. Freedom. No more paycheck-to-paycheck stress, no more rent panic, no more hoping his credit card wouldn't decline. He was in control now, and he wasn't stopping here. Liam had bigger plans, investing, scaling, and giving back. Because this was just the beginning of his rich life. Liam sat on the balcony of a cozy cafe, not the one he used to work at, but a high-end specialty spot he had read about in a magazine. The kind of place he used to think was too expensive for someone like him. Now, he barely thought about the price. As he sipped his perfectly brewed Ethiopian pour-over, he reflected on how much had changed. 1 year ago, he was drowning in debt, stuck in a cycle of stress and survival. Today, he was making over $7,000 a month, not from a job, but from a business he built from scratch. His income now looked like this: freelance consulting, $3,500, affiliate commissions, $1,800, sponsored posts, $1,000, digital product sales, $900, total $7,200. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about what the money allowed him to do. He had paid off $10,000 in credit card debt, built an emergency fund with 6 months' worth of expenses, started investing, a Roth IRA, index funds, and even a few stocks, traveled, his first ever trip outside the country fully paid for in cash, helped his parents cover some unexpected medical bills. Most importantly, he had peace of mind. For the first time, he wasn't worried about next month's rent. He wasn't afraid of an unexpected expense. He wasn't stressed about money controlling his life, because now he controlled his money. As Liam scrolled through his emails, one message caught his eye. Subject: job opening, cafe manager position. It was from his old boss, Ben. Hey Liam, we have a management position open. Pays $42K a year, plus benefits. Let me know if you're interested. Liam chuckled. A year ago, he would have jumped at the chance. But now? He was making twice that, working on his own terms. He typed back a polite response. Hey Ben, thanks for thinking of me. I actually left the cafe world for good. I'm running my own business now. Hope all is well. He hit send, smiling. Because that email wasn't just a reply. It was proof. Proof that the old Liam, the one who believed he was stuck, that financial freedom was only for other people, was gone. And in his place, a man who had built something real, not just money, a rich life. the kind Ramit Sethi had talked about, the kind Liam had created for himself. And this was only the beginning. Liam's story is more than just a story. It's a wake-up call. If you've ever felt stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, drowning in debt, or wondering if financial freedom is only for other people, let this be your sign. You don't get rich by cutting back on lattes. You get rich by thinking bigger, earning more, and making your money work for you. Liam had no financial background, no special connections, and no magic shortcut. But he did one thing differently. He took action. He stopped waiting for the perfect time. He stopped blaming his situation. Instead, he learned, applied, and grew, one step at a time. And now, he's not just making money, he's making choices. Where he works, how he spends, what kind of life he wants to live. Because that's what a rich life really is. So, what about you? Are you going to keep waiting for a lucky break? Or are you going to start designing a life where money is no longer a source of stress, but a tool for freedom? The choice is yours. Your rich life starts today.